Welcome to Know and Awaken, your soul's unlimited potential. So today's topic is all about making choices aligned to who you are at soul level and why that is very important. Why do I talk about this so much in all the content I put out here? My biggest message to you, if you're watching this, is that it's so important to stay authentic to who you are, to make choices allowing to who you are. So if you resonate with this, make sure you tune in for the rest of the video just to get us started. Before we move on, if you're new to my channel and you like this kind of content more and more, do subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell that's next to the subscribe button so that you might be getting alerts for every time I put out a post, so that you don't miss out on anything that might actually inspire you to start thinking and acting differently. Okay, so if you want to do that, make sure you do that, and let's dive into today's topic. So I kind of had an aha moment just recently regarding choices. And that the aha moment for me was that a lot of the choices that we make in life, who gets to experience the consequences if you're watching this? Like, who deals with the consequences of the choices or the actions that we take on a daily basis? It's us. We're the ones who experience the consequences, not the people around us. But how some people might view life is that they'll make certain life choices to kind of like please their loved ones. Marry a certain partner because that partner is more acceptable to your parents or to your family, and not realizing that at the end of it all, it's not your parents who are going to be sleeping in bed next to this partner that you've chosen. It's you who has to wake up every day and deal with this partner that you've chosen. So whenever you're making this kind of choice and you're saying that I'm just going to go along with my family because I don't want to disappoint them, I don't want to make them angry at me, gotta realize that the consequences, it's you who has to deal with the consequences. It's not your mom, it's not your dad, it's not your cousins, your brothers, your sisters. It's you who has to deal with the consequences of that. And that's the awareness I want to give you today, that you gotta go through life making choices that you know feel right for you. You know, don't make choices just to please the people around you. Don't make choices because this is what society or the community around you deems to be acceptable, because they, at the end of it all, they're not gonna ever feel the consequences of those actions that you take. They'll never get to experience that. The only thing they'll do is talk about you, whisper about you in so many circles, right? That's the only thing that they can do. That's the worst thing that they can do. But the person who has to bear the any kind of toxicity that comes out of the choices that you make, any kind of depression, anxiety that is a result of the choices that you make, they don't get to experience that. You have to experience that. And I'm just here to encourage you to make peace with the fact that sometimes the choices that we make in life, they're not going to seem normal to the people around us. They're not going to seem okay to the people around us. But they're going to be choices that are fully aligned to who we are, make us happy. And another thing that I've realized that most people do is the fact that like some people tend to give their power away. So that when someone else is making the choice for you and you're experiencing maybe the negativity of that, a negative consequence from that, then you can blame this other person for making you do that. That's also something else that we need to stop doing, because the minute you're giving someone else the power over your life, if you know me and you've been following my content, I always say, like, no one has control over you. You're in control because you're the divine creator of your own human experience, right? So us constantly now looking towards the other people in our realm, like, you want to take an action, let me go to my friend, my partner, whatever, so that they can tell me what to do, right? Even though we know that this choice, whatever advice they're giving us, is not aligned to who we are, but because we don't want to make a mistake, we don't want to fail at something, it's much easier if someone else, we take on someone else's advice, because if now I fail in that, then it won't be my fault. I don't know if that resonates with any of you. If it does, do comment down below. But I'm just here to tell you today, if this is what you're going through, that we need to take responsibility for the choices and the actions that we take, right? We can't give that power away to other people. Like I said before, we're the ones who get to experience the consequences of our choices. You gotta make choices that are aligned to you. Okay. And I know that might be a little bit scary for so many of us because we're always scared, like, oh my God, if I go this way, I might make a mistake. Like if I choose maybe to like quit this job or walk away from this partner, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what it holds for me, right? So I'm so scared. Let me just stay in my comfort zone because this is safe. At least I know what to expect, right? And that's okay, right? I'm not here to tell you like you have to do this. But I just want you to realize that, first of all, if you're in an environment that you know is not good for you, that's already like, you can't tolerate that in your life, right? And I know how scary it might be to walk away from certain situations because we don't feel empowered to make those choices. But here's the thing, do you want to live to the end of your life and have any kind of regrets? Like, what if I actually chose to leave this job that wasn't aligned to who I was? What if I actually followed my passion and followed my dream, which was to pursue the career that I desired? What if I actually did that? What if you, by doing that, you actually got success in that area that you might be scared to venture into? Because, of course, anything new we're tapping into, it's always going to be scary for so many of us. It's always going to feel uncomfortable for so many of us. But these actions are actually necessary for us to continue evolving and growing our soul. We need to make peace with that, with the uncomfortability of all the new actions that we take. But you do not want to get to the end of your life and realize or have regrets for how you lived your life. I think for me, that's the worst feeling that anyone can actually have to experience. To just get to the end of your life when you have no control over what happens next and realize, like, oh, I should have done things differently. But if you're watching this, guess what? You can actually start doing things differently right now by staying true to who you are. Stop following the outside noise because trust me, everyone out here will always have a perspective or their own interest of how you're supposed to live your life. Everyone has their own issues, everyone has their own perspective, right? But you can't keep following all these people, right? You gotta stay true, do things that actually make you happy because again, you're the one who gets to experience the consequences of these choices. And if you fail, because failure is part of life, then at least you'll have failed knowing that you actually took a risk and you tried something new. And there will be actually a growth for you in that moment because you realize that, hey, okay, so I tapped into this new path or whatever, and I kind of made some mistake. So here's what I'm not going to do in the future if I'm still pursuing this path, right? Like you already know like the mistakes that you made. Like every opportunity, every experience in life is kind of like an opportunity for you to grow. That's how I look at life, right? Like I don't look at failures as things to keep me down. I look at them like a stepping stone to my greatness. So I learn all my lessons and I keep it moving. So that's my message for you today. I hope you like the message. If you resonate with that, do like this video and share it out with anyone that might need to hear this today. I'm just here to inspire you to start thinking and acting differently. And again, as always, to share on how I can actually help you remember who you are, remember who you were designed to be as a soul, as a being in this current human experience. If you want to tap into what your gifts are, what gifts were gifted to you by God, right? Because everyone is gifted in something, and most people are not tapped into that. If you want to tap into that and actually get to awaken your gift, if you're ready to learn what kind of choices that you've been making for your entire life that have actually been taking you away from who you were designed to be, and if you'd like to know what kind of choices and what kind of actions you need to make going forward so that you actually create the kind of experience that you want for yourself. Because all of us, of course, and I hope this is you if you're watching this. All of us want an abundant and amazing human experience for ourselves, but we can't create that if we're still stuck, not honoring who we are at soul level, still making the same choices that have been keeping us stuck and keeping us limited for years and years. So if you're ready to let go of that, if you're ready to let go of your limiting beliefs, limiting patterns, tap into your highest and best vibration so that you can really create the kind of life that you want for yourself. Do reach out to me. I always leave out my links down below on the description box. Connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Instagram, send me a message if you'd like to know more on how I can help you with that. And if you actually just heard me and you're ready to dive into truly healing from all those stuckness, all that stuckness you've had in your life, I also leave the link down below on how you can actually book a session with me. You can do a soul realignment reading or a quantum flow practice, whatever resonates with you, if you're ready to dive into truly tapping into your highest potential. So thank you so much for tuning in, sending you so much love. And just again to remind you, if you like any kind of content I share out here and you'd like to know more and you'd like to get inspired even more, do make sure you subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell that's next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any content I share out here. So sending you so much love and so many virtual hugs wherever you're watching me from, and see you in the next video.